Okay, hey guys. I just wanted to make an updated deck profile for my White Forest Runick list because the current format has changed slightly, and I wanted to make some changes to the deck and talk about those changes. And I think they're actually really important because there are a couple decks, one in particular that I'll get into, that is actually kind of a problem for this deck to deal with. And yeah, I wanted to point out the changes I've made. And I took this deck to locals yesterday and I actually ended up getting first place with it, which I'm really happy with. It was only a 3-round locals. I played against, what was it? I played against the Mirror, White Forest Runick Mirror. Then I played Tempai, then I played Branded in the last round. And it was one of those shorter locals because there were some really odd results with people. It wasn't like a tiny locals, but it wasn't the biggest one either. It was like, I don't know, like maybe 12, 13 people. I don't know, something like that. Maybe 14. Maybe that was too many. I don't know. I don't really remember. But anyway. And this isn't like a first place deck profile. You know, it's just 3-round locals. But it did perform really well, and I'm really happy with it. And I want to just generally just bring you guys the update. So for White Forest, also I have the all 3 QCR LZs now, which is really nice. 3 LZ, 3 Sylvie. I'm still on 2 Rusia. Let me move these over here. Apologies for the glare. And then 2 Woes and then 1 Scourge. This is still just the standard I think you should play. These cards are just so good. This one's less good if it's the only one you open and you get stopped, because it doesn't let you like play on your opponent's turn anyway. Because if you go a Runick name, discard a Woes to search for Fountain, and then they imperm it, and then you have no other play, you at least still have the Woes for a Book of Eclipse on your opponent's turn. So, but yeah, but this is still good because you can just search both of them really easily, and they're just really good. Yeah, also sorry, I am a little under the weather. I'm a little sick, so apologies for that. For Runick stuff, the Runick stuff is still the same. This isn't really the important part of what I've changed, but we have 3 Tip, 3 Freezing Curses, 3 Flashing Fire, 3 Destruction, 3 Slumber, 1 Dispelling, and 1 Smiting Storm. So that's still the same. That's still 17 Runick names, and then the 2 Fountains. I am playing now 1 chicken game with the 1 Upstart. I wanted to try chicken game because it becomes basically a draw 1 like Upstart, but also it stays on field, so you can use it to send for cost for your White Forest effects, which is really nice. But yeah, I don't think you need too many of these in your deck. Like, I don't really want a ton of Upstarts. Like, they're really nice to keep the consistency up a little bit, but you know, at the end of the day, I don't want to be giving my opponent life points or taking life points away from myself. And just having 1 of each, I think, is fine, because it puts them in play. If I want to add them back with Diabell, I can, although I didn't find myself wanting to add these back really much at all. But there are the occasions where I do want to do that, so the option is there. I'm still on the Skill Drain and Foolish Burial Goods. Funny thing is, I never activated Skill Drain once yesterday. I never played with it, which is funny. So, and there's actually one person at my locals who says this deck is Skill Drain Turbo, that this is its only win con. So that's clearly not true. So but it is obviously a really strong card with the deck. But okay, so here's the main difference. These are the same, but this, I think, is a huge difference. It's only taking out the evenly for Droplet. That's only one thing. But, and I'll show you, there's some stuff in the extra deck and the side deck that's also different. It's not just this, but yeah, this was actually really nice maining. I've noticed over the past couple weeks, I haven't really been even activating evenly that much. So and I found myself using Droplet to negate things multiple times yesterday, as I would expect, because you can use it going first and going second, so it has that good versatility. Unlike basically evenly going first would just turn into just a discard for one of my White Forest names, or if I drew it later, I would turn it into a send for Diabell on my opponent's turn. But yeah, Droplet did some crazy work today, or yesterday, I should say. Onto the extra deck, still one Diabell, one Arciela, one Silvera. I still love these cards. White Force is just so fun to play. I just have so much fun with this deck, and I love these cards and the way they play. One Coral Dragon, and then we got the QCR Tri-Edge now. And here's one of the main new additions, which is Malong. This goes with a card in our side deck, but basically when this card's sent to the graveyard, it can target a face-up card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. This is something that's like, I think a really good option, because going second with this deck it's not horrible, but it's not great either. It's just something that I think was a good addition, and I'll show you the side deck card that it goes with, which you may already be able to guess what it is. But then there's Cheng-Ying, which is just still busted card, and the Zapper Shrimp to go into Cheng-Ying on my opponent's turn. Those are still standard. And then I have playing the 3 Hugin still. These are like your best level 2 extenders, because all your Runick names are level 2 extenders. 1 Munin, and I'm now playing just 1 Gary. I took 1 Gary out for the Malong, and yeah, I didn't miss the second Gary. I didn't really need it, so I think that was a good swap. And then still the 1 Baguska and the 1 SP, because these cards in this deck can go kind of crazy. So here's some differences in the side deck, which I think are really important for this format. So first is this little card right here. This card is really expensive. It's like 130 still. I don't blame you if you don't have like the money for it. I'm surprised I even had the money for it. Although I packed all of them, but that's another thing. But this isn't really to specifically draw a bunch of cards, but whenever you drop Fulos, it's basically just to stop my opponent from making like an unbeatable board, and that's really all I want it for. I don't need to draw a ton of cards. Even if I only just get 1 draw out of it, like, I'm happy with that, because my Runick cards and White Force cards can do a decent job of breaking boards going second. I just need to slow down my opponent and make sure they don't like put up some stupid difficult board to break through, like in U-Bell or Snake Eyes and stuff. And then the new card that goes along with the side deck card is Ultimate Slayer. So this card is really good. So the deck that I mentioned, or that I alluded to at the beginning, that this deck has quite an issue with, is actually Centurion. So a lot of the cards for Centurion can't be destroyed, because each of the different cards, like the Primaire protects level 5 or higher. The field spell is protected if you control any Centurion card. And then their back row is protected by the Auxilla. I mean, it's a crazy deck. And then the most important thing is the Cosmic Blazar Dragon. That can just keep coming back and keep doing really annoying things, and you don't really have a good way to out it. That's the case for most decks, but for our deck, if we don't have like a battle phase and stuff, like, it's going to be very difficult to deal with that. So what you do is essentially you target their Cosmic Blazar with this and send them along. Your opponent can't respond with monster effects, so they can't negate it with the Blazar. So you bounce the Blazar, and then Malong in the graveyard in a new chain will target the field spell to bounce it. So it just basically gets rid of your opponent's entire field, because they can't quick synchro on your turn. They can't, they no longer have the Cosmic Blazar. So basically all they have left in hand is any hand traps they might have. And if they search the Phalanx, maybe they'll have that too. It's a really difficult deck to deal with regardless. I think if they have deck lockdown, I probably prioritize bouncing the deck lockdown because I can't really play under that either. But it's a really important card because going second against Centurion is really, really difficult. Then there's 3 Cosmic Cyclones. This is just such a good card right now. Like, it's such a good card going first. It's such a good card going second. It basically has implications for every single meta deck. And I just, yeah, I mean, I'd love to main deck it, but I just don't think I can justify it right now. But it's so crazy. There's actually in my first round against the White Forest Runick Mirror, my opponent, what did he do? It was game 3. I basically just ended on set 4 with Fountain and a Hugin on field. And he attempted to go battle phase. I used Woes to summon out, I think, Arciela, and then I searched something. And then, because I knew he had Evenly, so he dropped the Evenly. I used Scourge to negate the Evenly, and then I had just a Droplet and a Cosmic left. And he goes tip to search Fountain. I'm like, okay. And then he activates Fountain and then uses a Runick to summon, and then uses Fountain Chainlink 1, as I do many times too. Chainlink 2 Hugin, discarding another card, in which he only had 1 card left. So I chain Cosmic, target the Fountain, and then chain Droplet, sending the Cosmic to negate the Hugin, and I just put him on 1 card, and I basically won from there. So it's such a good card, man. It's just so good. I did put Evenly in the side. I didn't side this in once. I kind of think that this is probably a card that I want to take out now. Not 100% sure yet, because like against some meta decks this can go kind of, or sorry, not meta, some rogue decks this can go kind of hard, but yeah, still some more testing needs to be done. If other things are appearing to be more difficult, then I'll probably go with those. But yeah, I mean, still just a solid card, but yeah, I didn't end up needing it yesterday at the very least. Play 1 call by because, you know, I'd prefer not to play into Fulos or Pirellia or Shifter especially. I did end up having to play against, in my Tenpai matchup, he had Shifter in 2 of the 3 rounds. I didn't end up call buying it, but I had to play against it, and that was kind of annoying to deal with. But then there can be only one. I did have this in the final round when he had Shifter versus Tenpai, and this basically just won me the game. This was such a good card. Against Yubel, it's crazy. Against Tenpai, it's crazy. It's just a really good card. And then still the one D-Barrier for Branded, for Tenpai, for basically anything that you just want to just shut off. It's just such a crazy card. But yeah, so that's the list. I'm really happy with this right now. I do want to be trying out some other decks. I am in the process of getting another one. I did pick up Centurion myself, but I wasn't a huge fan playing with the deck. So I'll be looking for, well, no, I'm not looking for another deck. I've already found the next deck I'll be playing, and I'll probably put a video out on that whenever I get around to it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The most current format, I think, is actually pretty decent. I think Fulos is a card that's, yeah, it's really annoying, and I think if it was cheaper, I think it would be a lot better. But I think turning Yu-Gi-Oh into like a slower type of game where you're not going too crazy turn 1, I think is a good thing overall. It's not perfect. I don't think it's 100%, you know, fair, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm not a huge fan of cards that you just, if you draw them, you just drop them in the standby phase or the draw phase, and you basically get all the benefits from them. But, you know, it is what it is. But I think for now, you know, I'm happy with this. I'm having fun with the deck still. And yeah, if White Forest should be coming soon. I don't know exactly when, but soonish. in Master Duel, so I'll also be making videos on that when those come out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.